Yo mani padme 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 Yo Namo Gunji Muza 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 Namo Gunji Muza. How is the microphone coming in, everybody? We have a clear microphone or we have an unclear microphone? We have a clear video or we have an unclear video? Everything's great. Glad to hear that. Now, what is you? What is self? That's just a word, right? Self, you, ego, I. It's a word in the same way that a potato is a word. But it's a word that you've subconsciously and societally have given a lot of importance to, a lot of special thinking about that word of you, that word of self, that word of I. So we're here to WinRAR that, to unpack that, to defrag that, you. And in the process to also unpack time, an identity based on time, and an identity based on words and stories, words and ideas and sentences. If I look around in the street, I can see many words, even though they are not in a language that I speak, but I can see that they are words, I can see that they are sentences. We're having a new experience. We're having a new experience. So the coughing is also, we're clearing out, we're freshing out, we're clearing out those flems and those contributions of pesticides and toxins from the cloud pollutants, from the chemical pollutants inside of our lungs and our bodies. Now, everybody here's coming in and talking about money, but is that what we have to do? Is we always have to be thinking about money? Maybe this is the start of a new friendship. Maybe this is the start of learning something new. Maybe the chance to meet someone like you, or the chance for me to meet someone like me, or whatever, is actually worthwhile. Maybe, trading all of our humanity for, for doing labor for money is not as special an idea as we think that it is. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my batuki. I didn't grow up like that. I came from the struggle. I came from the streets. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. I have taken peyote before. I've taken LSD, I've taken peyote, I've taken mushrooms, I've taken non-duality. I've taken ayahuasca numerous times. I've taken DMT before, but this isn't about psychedelics. This isn't about having like a psychedelic trip. And this is certainly not about pretending to know about people that you don't know about. I don't recommend smoking weed. Smoking weed is probably like the lowest quality or the lowest tier of psychedelic that's out there. There are medicinal uses for marijuana, but those tend to have something to do with like cerebral palsy or things like that. And I have had a good night's rest. No, I'm not interested in psychedelics because my life is not about myself. My life is not the idea about my experiences. My life is not about what I want. My life is not about what I fear. This is the work of unpacking ownership of this body and mind. So to not be in any kind of contractual relationships with the desires or fears or thoughts of others, and not to be any kind of contractual relationship within myself with whatever desires or fears or thoughts about things may arise. So I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. We're using the ego to break down the ego. Using the ego to break down the ego. Oh, look, it's a beautiful storm out here. Ah, Amitofo. It's so easy to get caught up in thoughts and believe they are the ultimate truth about who we are, but they are really just temporary mental events. They're like clouds passing by. That is wonderful, Ariana Daman. That's really wonderful. I will now channel an alien from Zepton 9 that has arisen here from an interdimensional rift. The thing about, like, what if this happens or what if that happens is like, this is already happening and this is already beyond belief. Seeing, hearing, smelling, having a body, having a mind, having this experience of being alive is totally beyond everything that you've ever experienced before. We just get so caught up in distracting ourselves and consuming and kind of contracted into our intellectual way of constantly judging things that we miss out on how absolutely wonderful and unknown and incredible and profound this direct experience is. Like we say, what if it rains? It is raining. What if it gets too hot? What if it gets too cold? What if you have a serious accident? This life is a serious accident. This is too cold. This is too hot. This is everything. So instead of trying to reject specific things and make life be the way that you want it to be, how about open up to life? Open up to the everythingness of this moment as it already is. That's an invitation. So, saying that like, well, why are you doing this? Is this some kind of show? Are you making fun of people? Are you mocking other people? Are you trying to do this for attention? Really, this is like my meditation center. This is where I teach meditation. This is where I teach about non-duality. This is where I teach about Buddhism. And in the meantime, as we're slowly going into that meditative space of openness, which we can't be in a hurry to go into, otherwise we're entirely missing the point, we're practicing a little bit of mindful resonant chanting or mindful resonant listening. Really, sincerely, not to make fun of everyone, not to bully anyone. No, that's a really good question, Adsinga. I don't finding it exhausting. Sometimes it can get exhausting, but really when people reach out to me and they ask me, "Hey, how can I donate? Hey, how can I support your work? Hey, I've been following and listening and it's bringing a lot of benefit to me." That really juices me up. That makes me say, "What am I doing trying to go to sleep? Let me get back on the live stream. Let me share more, let me give more, let me offer more." And we are going to go into some of the WhatsApp messages that we've received today, but not yet. Okay? Thank you, Purple. Glad to have you here. And it's kind of it's kind of weird, right? Because how can I have been a Buddhist monk for 7 years and teaching meditation and wearing the robes and running the Discord meditation community and doing all these meditation classes and stuff like that, and now I'm not a Buddhist monk anymore. I'm wearing this. I'm holding this microphone on a live stream and I'm doing this. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible for this to actually have something to do with Buddhism and meditation, isn't it? And yet it really, really does. Intrinsically, naturally. Not really, it doesn't really have something to do with something, but the openness of it all, the unfoldingness of it all. And for people who are new here, welcome. And, you please ask your sincere question and be open. It's just, don't be in a hurry. Don't be fixated on trying to understand what this is. And don't take your thoughts too seriously. One of the biggest problems we have in American culture is people pretending to know about things that they don't actually have experience with. And this is a place to kind of relax that and release that. And in terms of me being crazy or being on drugs, I'm definitely no more crazy than the average person. And if we're comparing and contrasting, I've done a lot more work than the average person has done to be less crazy than I am. or than I was. So does that work or not work? It's always up to opinions, you know what I mean? Okay, I will answer you like this. What is okay? Who am I? Who are you? What is this? Instead of fixating on intellectual interpretation, step back into direct experience of seeing without thinking, hearing without thinking, breathing without thinking, thinking without thinking, seeing without seeing, hearing without hearing. And that's a question that I would bring up. That's a question that I would ask, right? Is like, where did we get this sense of superiority or this sense of confidence to be constantly walking around judging others? Where did that come from? And we're not completely daft. I mean, we're not completely empty-headed. So we know that most people that we meet, we don't know who those people are at all. We don't know who they are. We don't have the experiences that they've had. We don't know the struggle that they've gone through. We don't know anything about who they are, really, most people that we meet. And so where did this energy and this tendency come from to constantly going around pretending that we know who people are, or pretending that we know what their story is, or pretending that we know what like their real identity is? It's like we've lost an aspect of our humanity in that way. Truthfully, honestly, I'm not trying to put anybody into a corner. I'm really saying that, you know? Where have we gotten this sense of superiority and authority to like judge people that we encounter that we haven't even given the chance to listen to or ask questions to? It's like we're addicted to making arbitrary judgments about others. Why? Hi, Andrea in Australia. Why are we so addicted to making arbitrary, bullshit, fake, pretend judgments about others? You know that you don't, no, many people here, you know that you don't know me. You may pretend to know me. But if this is your first time coming across the live stream and you see some noises that I'm making, you hear some colors that I'm wearing or whatever, it doesn't mean you know me. Yeah, so so I guess what I'm questioning about is that where did we get this confidence about being ignorant? Because the ignorance itself is not a problem, ultimately. Like as a human being, to be ignorant and to know that you're ignorant or to know that you don't know is not a big problem. But when we have all these people going around that are very ignorant, but they're confident about being ignorant, about knowing things that they don't actually know about, that's a disaster. It's like people are pretending to know how to drive when they don't. Well, a lot of it, though, here is just people making strange comments, aggressive comments or judgmental comments or whatever. You know, and who says I'm not allowed to do that? Who says I'm not allowed to do that? Who am I hurting when I do that? Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Is there something wrong with being weird? Aren't the best things in life weird? Aren't the best things in life unusual? Do you want to spend your whole life in a concrete box of watching TV and eating food and playing video games? This message isn't for anyone in particular. So if you're trying to receive this as if it's for you in particular, your ego is going to be quite confused. Oh, David, that's just ego talk. The pretenders are coming out. If you do this, it means that you are what I think that you are. If you do this, it means that you are now under the umbrella of my authority of thinking. We're bullshitting, we're pretending. You're making up an idea in your own mind about who I am and what I'm doing. So me is you in your own mind, right? Let's start with that. And then, because I do something on my own that has nothing to do with you, that's not under your dominion, not under your authority, not in reference to you, not asking you for involvement, but because I do something that's, up to me to do, that somehow you've become so contractualized in your thinking that me doing that thing that has nothing to do with you and doesn't use you as a reference now puts me under the dominion of your thinking. Now my life is under the control of your ego. And so it doesn't actually have to be based in violence. It can be based in awareness and non-attachment. No, it's not making a judgment. It's pointing to the principles that they're using, that they're not aware of. It's a ridiculous principle. It's a ridiculous notion. The practice of it is what I'm seeing here, but I can see over the practice of it to the principle. And the principle is just complete bullshit. It's an ego game that they're playing to make themselves verified. It's just practice for the throat singing, but it's just a way to express myself vocally, and not to express self, but to express experience itself. Yeah, they don't know why they do what they do. And so what's so wrong with not knowing? What's so wrong with being in a state of not knowing? B. Smith, rewind. You can hear the principle described. That my identity does not exist in your head. That who I am is not about what you think about me. That who you are is not about what I think about you. Now, the reality of this is because of no self, impermanence, no self, anatta, dukkha, anicca, etc. But in terms of me and you, we can be sure that I'm not your mental ego slave. And we're not going to play that game here. That because I'm wearing this jacket, or because I'm wearing this flower, or because I'm holding a mic, or because I look over here, that somehow I become your mental ego slave. I'm not your mental ego slave. I'm not going to become your mental ego slave. And you know, some of these people, they stalk, they follow, they seek, they search for someone to be under their dominion of thinking, for someone to buy into their bullshit. We're not buying into bullshit here. We're giving all of it away free. So, to be willing to be alone. To be willing to not think. To be willing to feel the unpleasantness that is there. To be or not to be willing. To be or not to be willing to be open. This is to find harmony in non-harmony. This is to find enlightenment through confusion. Oh, weird is just a bullshit idea. If you're in middle school and you get a foreign exchange student from China and they speak English with a Chinese accent, and now you're bullying them and torturing them and, you know, bringing them to commit, you know, to end their own life because they're weird. This is weird. You're making people end their own lives. It's degenerate, and we can't. We can't get caught up in that disgust about these people and these disgust about these negative things in life, because that actually attracts that negativity and that involvement inside of ourselves. That's the last thing that we want to do. That's the last thing that we want to do. The real disgust, if we should have any disgust for anything, but this is kind of a more advanced practice, is the reality of the body. Think about how attached you are to your body being healthy and not like having cancer, or not like having a brain tumor, or being disfigured, or whatever might happen to you, right? Do you realize that not only will all of those things happen, very possibly, sickness, old age, and death, but your body, the body that you're attached to, will literally fall apart, will literally melt into pus and blood and swollen, rotten maggots and flesh and dissolve into basically a fluid. So the real disgust that we should have is for the body and for our attachment to the body. And also for the attachment in general. How we attach onto views, how we attach onto perceptions, how we attach onto ideas. The more that we can see that attachment is problematic, the more we can walk on the path of Zen Buddhism or Chan or enlightenment or non-duality, etc. Is that clear? Well, it's not just children, it's adults too. Children are not the problem. Every problem in this world has been caused by adults. Yes, Chan. Every problem in this world has been caused by adults. So why are children seen to be so low when it's the adults that have caused all the problems and all the suffering? This is not about worrying about what other people think. If you can't stop worrying about what other people think, how are you going to be free in this moment? I am remembering who I am. This is quite an easy song, so try to sing along if you can. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. Again, we can sing this one. This is not a difficult song to sing, so let's practice together, okay? You ready? If you're going to sing along, let's get a W in the chat, or let's get a I'm going to sing along, so we can kind of see, is this guy just talking to random freakazoids on the internet that are here to troll, or just in the midst of scrolling quickly, or are we actually coming together to practice? Let's get the W in the chat if you're ready to sing along. And I do want to offer some clarification. Caring about what other people think is not inherently attachment. Attachment is that grasping and holding on to and that unnecessariness of caring about what other people think. Sometimes as a leader or as a teacher or something like that, you may have to care about or consider about what people are thinking or what they are believing to help move the project forward or to help them release attachment, etc. Okay, here we go. You don't have to be loud. Here we go. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. All together now. Chelsea, I want to hear that voice. Come on. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. Now the mantra and the teaching is to realize awareness is liberation. So what are we doing here? What are we remembering here? We are remembering that we are awareness. Revamp Emily, you're too caught up in your ego in a very basic way. So it's not difficult to get out of that. You just have to get rid of some of your comfort and some of your luxury. Maybe you're drinking alcohol regularly, or things like that. Okay, or you're masturbating regularly. You're out of control with your sexuality, your sexual energy. 5 precepts to begin with, other than mindfulness and other than generosity. Don't kill anything. Don't steal. Don't take what's not offered. Don't lie or speak harshly. Specifically, don't lie. Don't commit sexual misconduct, which means being very careful with your energy. And don't take drugs or intoxicants. Nicotine and THC are not the same. THC gets you high, gets you twisted up, and nicotine is more like coffee. But it's not, there's many carcinogens. It can be very difficult for you. Realizing awareness is liberation. To realize that who you actually are is awareness. Not so remembering awareness. What is awareness? Awareness isn't a thing. It's like space. It's like realizing space. It's like seeing space. It's like hearing silence. If you cannot practice generosity seriously, if you cannot practice self-sacrifice seriously, then you're hopeless. Because the reality of the situation is that you are going to lose what you're attached to. You're not just going to lose. Oh, yeah, I'm doing, I didn't. Getting high and getting drunk and, getting twisted and flipped up and ripped up. You're not just going to lose that. You're going to lose your arms and your legs and your eyes and your ears and your nose. You're going to lose everything. So this Mr. and Mrs. Bullshit artist of getting high and drinking alcohol are a bunch of hopeless losers. Because that's the way that it is. It's up to you how far you want to take it. I'm not here to force anybody to take this more seriously. How much you want to take refuge in a teacher or follow their instructions or give up your life to realize awareness or whatever, that's all up to you. That's not my problem. It's like an ayahuasca retreat. This is meant to be a live stream ayahuasca retreat, okay? That's informed by Buddhism. Can you feel that? Can you breathe in and feel that experience? I am an ayahuasca shaman, okay? I'm a non-duality teacher. I'm a Dzogchen teacher. I'm a Zen teacher. I'm a meditation master. Let's get that straight. You sound like a smart man, David. I'll go to Korea if somebody gives me an apartment there. If somebody wants to pay for my apartment in Korea, I'll go there. I need like some kind of clip, right? Like to clip this on to my... I've got to be able to do that somehow. I'm kind of a technical guy. I know how to do this kind of stuff. I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years, okay? Is this close enough to my face? Remember that who you are is awareness. And let me talk to my alien. Let me do my alien transference to contact the alien in Zepton 9. You do recognize awareness is liberation. Your true self is none other than awareness itself. You got it, Yogi B. I've been there too. And it can take us a lot of hard work to get out of that rut. Because we cover up awareness, apparently, with nonstop thinking and bad ideas. So can you relax and release your whole body and mind? Can you relax and release the notion of ownership? Can you relax and release the idea that you are in control of your life? Can you release and relax that? Yes or no? I've had enough. You're gonna talk to that way me? You're gonna treat that way me? this is only the beginning. So, Emily, the ideas that you have about yourself and about the world are irrelevant from top to bottom. So, what we're attempting to practice here, just as if we had a garden and we were attempting to plant mango trees rather than pineapple trees, is to bring thinking down to zero. So you have to endeavor quite seriously to bring thinking down to zero. This has nothing to do with your thinking about it. From top to bottom, inside and out. And to keep further thoughts from arising. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're working on here. Now, this is a place that has a certain degree of accessibility for people who are otherwise not available to attend a meditation retreat or to connect with the higher spiritual teachings, higher trainings. Okay? And this is also a place here to help you not get tricked and cheated into the Reiki or the Kundalini sex retreat in Bali or what have you. So this is a little bit difficult. The wig is on its way. The wig has been ordered, so we just wait a little bit. Renee, that's a very nice offering. Right now, what's actually would be very helpful is to make a donation for me to find an apartment here to stay for 1 month. That's what I'm looking around for right now. I'm just staying in a kind of a cheap hotel, a place where I can't really do live streaming inside, and looking around to get an apartment. So if you'd like to make a donation or to support for that, that would be very, very meaningful and useful. In a sense, we're all new here. In a sense, I'm as new to myself as you are to myself or to this. So the Reiki singing bowl that we're hitting here, the Reiki singing bowl that we're hitting here is the Reiki singing bowl of freshness and newness in the here and now. That what anybody says about you is ultimately just as true as what you say about yourself. So as much as you are attached and fixated onto what you think about yourself, you will be lost in complication with what other people think about you, because you are not separate from the psychosphere or the collective consciousness, the collective mind. So what we're learning to do here is actually to uncouple and to decouple from the collective mind. Sure, I can try to help you with that. But see, the thing is that you listen to someone when you pay a bunch of money to them for them to tell you what to do. You don't just listen to somebody because they're somebody to listen to, somebody that you meet on the street, right? So you have to be very patient and open and to listen deeply and to kind of make the determination that this is something that you're willing to give your heart, your body, your mind, your attention to, etc. And we all make mistakes. Let me answer your WhatsApp question, Shane. There you go. That's your answer. Shut up and listen. And the way that people are not allowing themselves to shut up and listen, even though it's completely accessible. I can see that in myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm so worked up in sometimes I'm so worked up in that I miss out on my own access to shutting up and listening. To recognize awareness is liberation. To realize awareness is liberation. You want to meditate? Okay, let's meditate. It doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your bullshit thoughts about this don't matter. They're not matter, they're just mental. So this is not a place for your ego to kind of find its way to fit in and find its place to find its place. And, you know, my ego's here and you're here and I know who you are and you know who I am. We're here to throw all that in the trash and to recognize and to realize awareness. Young Avatar and LJ23, you're a bunch of pretenders. You're a bunch of fakers. You go up to somebody on the street and you start telling them what to do and you start sharing your opinion about them. What are you, a Looney Tune? You eat that toothpaste? You eat too much fluoride? Here we do care. We do care here. Okay? But we're not in a hurry, you know, you say, I was offended, I was upset about something. We do care here. This is a place for caring and sharing and cooperation and communication. It's not about you and it's not about me. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? Are we just going to watch YouTube videos? Are we just going to watch $1 Million Baby again? Are we just going to watch TikTok videos? That sounds great. That sounds really good. Maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I have got it wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what I think isn't true. Absolutely, or especially in the way that I think about it, the way that I think that it's true. Can you imagine? Can you imagine an experience like that? You don't have to imagine it. That's the way that it already is. You know, what am I doing here? Oh, he was a monk for 7 years, so that's how he's doing that. It's mysterious, it's mysterious. No, I'm turning over this to the side. I'm turning away from the screen. The breathing is happening. I've got to breathe, and it's a joy to breathe, right? It's a preciousness to breathe. And I don't need to think about anything. You don't need to think about anything. You were trained, you were indoctrinated to feel this need and this necessity to think about everything, to constantly be thinking. You don't need to think about everything. You don't need to think about anything. When you are constantly thinking and lost in thinking, that's when you get into a car accident. That's when you stub your toe. That's when your anger and your greed and your anxiety and your fear and your confusion get out of control. You don't need to think about anything. Is it true or not true? Yeah, fasting can definitely be good. I've been eating less. I've been working to eat less. Because we eat these big meals and it really weighs us down. It really kind of intoxicates us in a sense. You're eating too much. You're probably sleeping too much. You're thinking too much. The moment that you lose the access to not thinking, it's like a book of your mind where the spaces in between words become thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, until eventually you don't know your head from your rear end. You don't know what you're thinking or why you're thinking it. You don't know what's going on. You're lost in the sauce of your ego. Give in to meditation. You don't have to practice meditation. Give in to meditation. Allow meditation. Allow awareness. Practicing awareness. How am I going to practice awareness? How am I going to get awareness, monk guy? You're talking all this stuff. How am I going to get it? You're not listening closely enough. And you're making this into something that your ego has control over. Oh, I get it. I understand it. Now I'm going to go on my way. That's why people charge for this stuff. That's why people say, okay, yeah, I'm going to share this time and this space and this energy with you, but you're going to have to give me about $100 first. Because then, in one hand, you've already sacrificed a part of yourself, and you know that you can't get that back. There's no refunds in life. So you're like, okay, I guess I got to listen. I guess this isn't about me because I paid for it. But on the other hand, there's this wisdom, there's this insight in loss, the reality of loss. The reality of loss, and that this isn't about you, that you have to lose to be here. What's so confusing about goallessness? What's so confusing about not having a goal? Oh, I don't have a goal. I'm just drunk and high and flipping and dipping and ripping. Yeah, you do have a goal. It's to watch YouTube videos. It's to pleasure yourself. It's to masturbate. It's to eat. It's to smoke weed. You do have a lot of goals. Your problem is that you're overwhelmed with all of your goals. The only winning here is in losing. Every little bit that you understand is a little bit where you've gone wrong. This is not to be understood. Go into the recognition and the realization of awareness. Stop. Thinking about the past, thinking about the future, woe is me. Stop. Recognize and realize awareness. Listen to the awareness. Breathe the awareness. See the awareness. That is thoughtless, that is free already. You can't make it more free. You can't make yourself more free because the nature of yourself is already freedom. You just didn't stop enough or look enough or consider enough to realize that, to experience that for yourself. We are addicted to being offended. We are addicted to being right. We're addicted to having and giving our opinion. Cut the shit. To be alone is a blessing. To be aware is freedom. To be or not to be is a stupid question because there's no you to begin with. You is just a thought, like this being a spoon is just a thought. Maybe this is something to pick your nose. Who says it's a spoon? In Swahili, they say it's a bow. So which one do you want to use? Or a spoon? Or do you want to see through the duality of sound and names and labels and judgments and opinions? Up to you. It's up to you to realize awareness. Nobody can do it for you. I is a nobody doing nothing. Stop trying to get something out of this experience. Stop trying to get something out of this experience. Stop trying to get something out of this body. Stop trying to get something out of this mind. Stop trying to get something out of this internal and or external environment. Give. Give your body, give your mind, give your possessions, give your money, give everything to me. No. To awareness. Give everything to awareness. The whole of humanity is just another idea for me to chew on, to believe in, to get involved with. Forgive the entire notion of me and you and I. Have no story. Be storyless. Try it. Try it a little bit to be storyless. Try to, in your direct experience right now, to be free of any story about anything, about anyone. What is it? It's nothing. Something is nothingness. Something is nothingness. No, you're not taking, you're not getting, you're giving. Giving everything into awareness, giving everything away together with everything. Be mindful of not someone. Be mindful of not something. be mindful of not some place, not some time, not some particular situation. Yes, you can be mindful of some particular situation. Hi, my name's Mr. Dr. Rob. I'm in some particular situation. Yes, yes, we can say that. We can be mindful of that. Hey, my name's Dr. Rob. I'm in some particular situation. But you can also be aware of, you can be mindful of not anybody, not being anybody, not being in any particular situation. And it's actually, you can't do that. But that can't be given to you. You have to realize that. You have to realize that you can't do anything, let alone to realize that you can't do anything. Do you really want to be that low for your entire life, Nate? Do you really want to be that Xbox 360 loser for your whole life? Freedom being beer and masturbation and taking a good shit? Is that really what you want to do? Is that what you want to be? Unless you mean mindful happiness, that's okay. But if you just want to be this, semi-alcoholic, shitting, food-eating loser for your whole life, I don't recommend that. You wouldn't. You wouldn't want to be mindful of nothingness. And you couldn't. You wouldn't and you couldn't want for anything. Okay. Any questions, any sharing from our session today? Sharing experience or asking any question? Oh, this is the zero world. Okay, Cherokee woman. Hey na ya yo ye. Hey we na yo wa no. Hey na ya we ya. I was told growing up, as many white Americans are, I was told growing up that you've got some Cherokee in you, you've got some Native American in you, and the disgusting white American race, we love that. Oh, I'm Native American. Well, how about you actually think about what you did to those people and to those lands, and the culture that supported and facilitated that, and the culture that never reflected back upon itself, and why we would do that, why we'd be willing and able to do that, right? But it turns out that I'm 0.02% Congolese. No man is an island, Nate. No man is an island. That I'm actually 0.02% Congolese. Can you believe that? I can show my DNA test here. All right. That's a hard no-no. See ya, Strifey. See ya later. Nate C., see ya later. Oh, we're woke here. You don't think I'm woke? I can't even show you how woke I am because I respect the establishment that I'm sitting out front of. You don't think I'm woke? I'm 0.02% Congolese, for goodness sake. Now, Hazy Train, this is the disgusting part of your ego. This is the very vile, disgusting, predatory part of your ego. You do not exist alone. You are a continuation of your ancestors. American culture and American society. Well, American society just came out of my rear end when I was born out of my mother's vagina. American society, are you talking about the new Marvel movie? Are you talking about Batman with Christopher Nolan? American culture and American society is fundamentally about and arising from genocide, Holocaust, slavery. We were, the Americans, the white Americans, okay, were eating brown people and black people. And they were enslaving them and torturing them and doing unspeakable things to them en masse continuously. Now, how exactly do people do that? Well, it's normal. I mean, sometimes people just do those things and then we get over it and we move on. And I recommend anybody who's ever been tortured and enslaved to just get over it and move on. Those black people really have it good these days. They don't realize how good they've got it. They're lucky they're not slaves. You see, talk about social justice warrior. You got your warrior right here, Miss Social Justice, Mr. Social Justice. I'll come there to the college class. I'll teach you what reparations looks like. So what we realize is that there is a culture in America. There's a dominant culture in America, and that is a white culture. So while brown people and black people, they're not so bad. While those people are in America and a part of American culture, they are not what the culture has historically been about or for. The culture has historically been about and for white people who were all the politicians, who were all the landowners, who were all the slave owners, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And this culture went from slavery and Holocaust and segregation and whatever you want to think about to movies telling everybody how black people were stupid and bad. What do you mean? There's no such thing as American culture. American culture is freedom and flags and hot dogs and eating shit and drinking piss. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You trying to say Donald Trump's not an American hero? You trying to say Donald Trump didn't do what he had to do for his country and came back to be an American hero? You're trying to say Donald Trump is some kind of sycophant, billionaire, spoon-fed, golden spoon having, celebrity having, Andrew Garfield having man? What are you talking about? Donald Trump's an American hero, for God's sakes. He did what he had to do to save our country, for God's sakes. As Donald Trump says, you got him, you grab him by the... What? Wait a minute. There's a locker room talk again. The black slave. Wait a minute. So anyway, it's not easy. It's not easy. Luth Lexer, if you're someone here who loves these videos but has autism, me too. I've got autism too. Self-diagnosed. Self-diagnosed, autistic, schizophrenic, Dzogchen teacher. You can put that on my resume. So anyway, it's just about going to realize the subtlety of our ancestors and the culture, and that, you know, America should have had a Germany moment. America should have said, hey, wait a minute, should have given reparations, three lots and a mule, and there should have been a public conversation in our media about slavery, about segregation, about reparations, about the culture that allowed that to happen, but it never actually came about, never actually happened. You're Remember, unless you're a donor, unless you're a supporter, your opinion doesn't mean nothing. All right? Donors and supporters get special privileges. They can call me up and they say, Rob, that politics stuff has got to go. And I say, let me check how much you've donated this month. Okay, all right, sorry about that. Listen, Bob, I'll get back to it, balls. Let me get back to it, balls. Don't blame me that you didn't learn how to clean your batuki after you make an excrement, okay? I'm the truth teller here. I'm the truth sayer here. I'm the peyote shaman here. I'm the Native American ayahuasca shaman here. You're not going to come into my ayahuasca meeting and start telling people what truth are. You think that these GUNs are just for show? Let me show you something. You think you're going to come into my ayahuasca ceremony and you're going to tell other people what truth is? I got your truth right here, big guy. I'm going to truth you on out of this teepee if you don't be careful. I'm going to truth my foot up your rear end. This is my meditation center. This is my live stream. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm going to teach what I want to teach. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if you don't like it, you better be careful because these codes come from a higher place. You're here listening with your little waddy-doddly-da. You better be careful what codes get into you. You think I'm joking? Three words concerned with America. Is America doomed or not? Donald Trump is the president.
What do you mean, Donald Trump? He's an American hero, for God's sakes.
Excuse me. We're just talking to the people who are here concerned with mindfulness and detachment. If you're just wandering on, keep wandering on. You know, I know my grandpa has affinities for Donald Trump. I'm not saying Donald Trump, you know, isn't a funny guy or isn't a cool guy. He's just not my guy. He's not my American hero. My grandfather, he went to serve. He served his country. Donald Trump didn't do that. Anyways. There's dangerous white people, there's dangerous black people, there's dangerous gay people, there's dangerous straight people. Let me give you all a tip. Don't cling onto any ideology. Remember what our training is here. I'm talking to you, Sarah. We're bringing thoughts to what? We're bringing thoughts to where? We're doing what with thoughts? Bringing thoughts down to zero. Don't get me worked up. Don't get me energetic here. Okay, I'm going to pull out the didgeridoo. We're bringing thoughts to what? We're bringing thoughts to where? We're doing what with thoughts? Bringing them down to zero. And what are we doing? We're keeping further thoughts from arising. I don't care if I'm talking about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Obama or whatever. Okay. We have to let the evil rise up. We have to let the evil come out so we can experience it and we can transmute it. This is when I get a psychic attack, when the gang stalkers start to use their energy weapons towards me, when the CIA, when the FBI starts to transmit singles into the microchip that they put into my brain. This is how I respond. How's that for your signal? How you getting that? Energy weapons. The satellites. The satellites. Yo bong jin bong zi 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 yo bong jing zong bong ji zi yo bong ji zoi gam bang yo yo zam bang yo zi mong go zo ji zoi gun bu zoi bo yum bong ji zoi yum bong zoi zi. The whole ecosystem of gang stalking is going to be brought down because they get these signals. They didn't expect that. They thought they were gonna mess me up. Exactly, Kyle. You got it. How dark and how light. My goal, my main goal is goallessness, but if I can be able to take care of myself and live my life as a meditation teacher, as a Dzogchen teacher, as a Buddhism teacher, as a non-duality teacher, then that would be great. All through donations, not by selling anything. The fact of the matter is that there's no time to waste. There's nothing to hold back. Just give everything. I'm not in Malaysia. I'm not in Malaysia. Yeah, I'm a fan of that symbol as well, Yogi B. I'm a digital nomad of mindfulness and detachment. I'm a Buddhist scholar of sorts. I'm a Buddhist intellectual of sorts. I'm the non-dual Andy Kaufman. I'm the Advaita Vedanta Dan Heinschel. I'm the How are you going to learn to do things right if you don't make mistakes? Let it all fall away. Get out from in front of the camera of your ego, of your thinking, of your identity. Let it all fall apart. Be fearless and be open. Jump the railing of your ego and dive into the sky of awareness. And walk. Walk and be aware. Walk and forgive thinking. Walk and forgive the story of your identity. Be as if you are on your deathbed. Nowhere to go and nothing to do but to be and to die. Cut the shit, Kyle. You're not going to be like this by smoking weed, I'll tell you that right now. No, it's not about that, Renee. Bye-bye. I'm the power man. I'm the teacher here. I'm the meditation leader. I'm the Zen master here. When you tune into this live stream, you clock into work. You clock into the work of mindfulness and detachment. You clock into the work of ego dissolution. You clock into the work of doing what you're told to do and not doing what you're told not to do, or you get out, or you're fired. That's something me and Donald Trump have in common. You fired. Get out. This is an exclusive hotel. This is the best of the best. You don't like it, get out. You can't afford it, get out. Watch your mouth here. I love that madness inside of you because I can feel that sincerity, and that's something that so many people are lacking. If I'm going to fail, let me fail. If I need help, then help. Make a donation, make an offering. Show your generosity. Set an example for the others. And share. People are so comfortable with their lack of sharing. I'm here completely exposing myself, completely exposing my ego for hours on hours on hours a day. And the best that you can do is insult me. Why don't you share with the group? We have more than 50 people here. We're almost at 100 likes on this live stream. 100 likes in less than 2 hours. So why don't you, instead of just stepping out and making an insult, why don't you share about your experience, your training, the Buddhist masters that you've studied under, the non-duality teachers that you've studied under. Share about your experience, not just sharing your capacity to make judgments about others. Don't be such a dunce. I'm doing pretty good myself, too, with my fingernail biting. So we've got one here, and we've got one on this hand, and we've got, heck, we have 4 on this hand. And this one you can see is coming along. So We're all changing. It's not weird to say that's what this is supposed to help with. Yeah, we're setting boundaries. Random people come in and show their ass and they say, look at how much my ass stinks. Newsflash, this isn't about how much your ass stinks. But I have an opinion. I have a judgment to make about you. Newsflash, nobody cares. This is an exclusive hotel. This is the 5-star. You're not going to come in here and talk nonsense here. All right? This is the best of the best. This is the best of the best non-duality teachings, Buddhist teachings, offered freely, free of charge. You're going to come in here and show your ass? Get out. You're fired. I'm here and I care, Fractal. If something happens, if something goes on, you've got my number, you can call me and I'll be there to help. But sometimes the medicine that we need is a kick in the ass. You're going to come here and muck about, play around? Get your ass kicked and go play around somewhere else, or realize that you need to be more serious about what you're doing and stop joking. We are in the face of mindfulness and detachment. We are in the face of samsara and nibbana, the inter-arence of samsara and nibbana. Okay? You want to come in here and hurt my feelings? Good luck. Good luck. You want to send a nuclear bomb to where I'm at in the world and harm me and destroy this? Good luck. I don't actually want you to do that. I'm not encouraging you to be like that, to go around and spreading our negativity, and to know that we have an intention to harm and just to keep going along the lines of that. Stop it, madness. You're going to come into here and tell me how to do my job? Who are you? I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years. I've trained with meditation masters around the world. I've attended many meditation retreats, countless intensive meditation retreats. What have you done? Who are you? Nobody knows. So how can they trust what you say? It's just a random opinion from a random person. So don't be anonymous. Share. Yo. I'm not afraid of you. Xin chào, Nam Mô A Di Đà Phật, Nam Mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật, Nam Mô Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. So there's not a house right now. I'm just staying in a cheap hotel in Vietnam, and looking to rent an apartment for a month or a few months actually. Hopefully a place where I'll be able to teach inside and have the good Wi-Fi and things like that. But right now we're in the coffee shop, one of the coffee shops here in Vietnam, which is a very nice place. You can see. No, I'm just staying in a very little cheap hotel room right now as I look for some apartments. And if you're looking for a good reason to donate or to offer, you can support for my housing. I know many people here are not of means, working maybe low income jobs and things like that, and just doing their best to take care of themselves. So what we can offer is to share our body, our mind, our practice, our experience. You know, what do we do when our ego is out of control? What do we do when someone else's ego is out of control? We let go. We practice kindness. We practice compassion. Now's the only time that we have. I mean, what? I need to punish you. Get it out of your head that you need to punish somebody. You need to pay. No, well, you don't need to pay here. Everything's offered freely here. You don't have to pay anything to be here. So if someone's going to come along and say, I've seen how you act, and now it's time for you to feel more suffering and to be punished, I say to them, go fuck yourself. Stay away from the children of the world. And don't think that you're going to have any dominion here. Dominion to punish, dominion to blame, dominion to shame. But these things are a part of our mind and our lives and our communal psyche. So I'm a little bit of a channeler in that way. I'm channeling the aggression of disingenuous communists. I'm channeling the aggression of Republican Democrats. I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. You can say it with me if you like. I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. There's nothing more valuable to me in this life than giving. Even if I had nothing else, I would practice giving. Because that's where my joy and my happiness and my freedom are. You don't have to accept what you're given. You just see it as being offered and you make a choice to accept it or not. And that power to not just constantly consume and accept and be involved with what's offered is our power of mindfulness and detachment, to see through the veil of appearances, to not allow complicated thinking justified by anger and greed to dominate our lives. Can you hear the music in the background? Yeah, it's a little bit low, right? It's okay. Let it be a little bit low. Namo Bonsu Tikka Muni Phật. Namo Bonsu Tikka Muni Phật. Namo Bonsu Tikka Muni Phật. This is not about getting what we want. Let's get that out of the way right now. This is about giving what we have, giving what's really valuable to us, not just our random opinion or judgment about somebody else, but giving our heart, giving our soul, giving our body, giving our mind, giving everything to this. What is it? Good question. What is this? Can you sit with that? Can you breathe with that? Can you be with that? What is this? How deeply can you ask that question? What is this? Maybe I don't need to be a perfect teacher. Maybe I don't need to be a perfect Buddhist. Maybe I don't need to live up to the idea that I have about myself or the idea that I have about others. Why would I need to live up to the ideas that I have about others? That'd be a confusing life to live, wouldn't it? Om Tare Tu Tare Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tare Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tare Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. This is a teaching of no self. You're not a real person. Your story is fake. Your identity is fake. There is no you. There is no separation. It's not real. Just like a movie. I watched a movie last night. I watched $1 Million Baby. And when I first started watching it, I said, these people are faking. This isn't even real. But then as the watching went along, as I kept getting concerned with that movie and that story, I contracted in. I contracted into that state of belief. So this is how we learn how to step back from the belief, attenuating to belief in our ego story. No, there's nobody to be forgotten, Kyle. You don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know why you're here, Kyle. Maybe you can share with the group why you're here. What's real? Your thoughts are real? What people tell you is real? Is this body real? Well, this body is completely temporary. This body is going to disappear at any moment. Kyle, what are you doing here? Why are you here, Kyle? I'm not joking. I'm going to throw you out if you don't give an answer. What are you doing here? It doesn't need to be put into words. Last warning, Kyle, I don't want to see another comment about what you think. What are you doing here? And honestly, this is a good question for everybody. We can see how many people dare to give. All right. See you later, Kyle. Some people just need to listen. There's no reason for you to be talking. You just need to listen. No, Jeff, that's just an idea. We are eternal. It's an idea of self. We're not teaching self here. We're not teaching self-doctrine here. We're not believing in self-doctrine here. We're also allowed to believe. Okay, Rainy Day is here listening. Okay, Type here is trying to tell other people what's what. Get out of here, Type here. Is there nobody else here? Does nobody dare to give? Does nobody dare to donate? This is the question. Listen closely. Okay, Bowie addict, get out of here. You're done. You're finished. What are you doing here? Why are you here? This is the entrance exam. If you don't pass it, you might get kicked out. I seem agitated. I seem like something's wrong, something's going on today. Thank you, Rainy Day. Very sweet. I'm going to count down. If you don't answer the question of why you are here, by the time this reaches 0, that's great, Jeff. You're very welcome. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And this also applies to people who listen later on. People who listen later on, who watch the recording, you should also try to answer this question. Now we're going to start the countdown again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's flush the toilet together. If you don't know what to do, just sit and be and breathe and be aware and not knowing what to do. Can you feel it? Can you feel the wonderfulness of awareness that's not about anybody and not about anything? I can. Oh, how's it going over there?
Oh, it's cold and wet and beautiful. Thank you for asking. This is so wonderful that you called me. Thank you. You're very kind.
Well, I got your message on TikTok and I felt very inspired by how you reached out and wanted to get involved. So, yeah, I'm here to offer you some support and consideration and um, go from there.
I just want to say thank you. I've been thinking about your journey and what you sacrificed in order to help people like me and everyone else. And I think it's really, it's incredible. And there's no one in the world doing it. So thank you.
Yeah. So I think you had some kind of question you wanted to ask.
Yeah, I've just been struggling. I know I'm pretty hard on myself, but I've just been struggling to sit for an hour and 5 minutes. It's very hard. And then I get really depressed about not being able to sit for, I know an hour is a long time, but that to me is what the goal is. But
Well, it's totally impractical and unnecessary. So, I mean, we can say that eating and sleeping and being alive is impractical and unnecessary, ultimately. So don't let that be a thorn in your boot if that's something that you want to do down under in Australia. So what we're working with here, the kind of problem that you're bringing up, is the problem of the meditation becoming a contraction rather than a release. So
yes.
it can be a very good idea and good practice to sit and meditate for an hour. It's a good exercise. But if you're putting this perspective of awakening or enlightenment or being more free into the box of sitting meditation for an hour, that's going to be a big problem. There's going to be a lot of unnecessary side effects in that. How often are you listening to the Dharma talks?
I've been listening to them every couple of days.
Dharma talks of me.
Oh, yeah, every day
Uh huh. And
for little bits,
yeah.
depending on how much time I have.
So I have some recommendations I can throw over to you, some recommended teachers that you can listen to. And what I would recommend is that if you want to do 1 hour meditations, you should do that as a part of guided meditation and Dhamma talk. That's what I would
Yeah.
recommend, because if you're practicing in such a way on your own that's making you feel more frustrated and leading to psychological side effects that are, you know, being clearly seen and not worked on, that way of practice is very likely contributing to that, and it's just not necessary. Especially if you already have the grit and the determination and the sincerity to be able to practice like that, there's a lot more skillful uses of your energy and that kind of generosity, that kind of giving.
Okay.
Because to practice meditation in the right way is a lot more difficult than to practice it in the wrong way. And we can focus on developing our concentration, or we can focus on developing freedom and wisdom. And these are not, they don't necessarily always support each other. Sometimes developing our concentration is actually feeding our ego. So one of the ways that we can practice very seriously and very intensively is through generosity or through detachment. So when we listen to the guided meditation or the Dharma talk from the well-known advisor or for the authorized Dharma teacher or meditation master, we're actually practicing to detach from our own understanding, to abandon the understanding of our ego, and to go into this process of taking refuge in the teachings of the master, the teachings of our friend on the path who's way more experienced than we are. And in terms of being serious about continuing on the path, it is a great blessing and a great gift, and it's kind of it's a moment of celebration to come across someone that possibly has a lot more experience than you do. You know what I mean? It's a real gift. And so
Mm.
to take more time to listen to Dharma talks and guided meditations from meditation masters is going to make a big difference in a very short time, especially when you already have that degree of determination to practice so intensively.
Mm. Yeah, I agree, and I will. I'm lucky. I have a few people, not many people, I can talk to about meditation. Only one or two, but I will look at quality, not quantity.
Yeah, I mean, there's degrees of this. Do they know about arm wrestling in the Down Under? I know that you're a woman, so maybe you haven't been as passionate about arm wrestling as I have, statistically, right? But you know about arm wrestling, right?
Well, yeah.
So arm wrestling isn't just physical strength; it's also skill. So you could say it's almost a 50-50 split of strength and skill in terms of arm wrestling. So when you're serious about arm wrestling or when you're serious about meditation, you want to have this understanding that there are people who are way, 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 way more experienced than you. And the only way that you can learn from their experience is not to talk to them about it, but to practice with them, to like receive their mind. So how you think about it or how you talk about it is actually not how your central nervous system works. It's not how your brain works. It's not how anything works. It's just kind of like a trick. Kind of like 50 cents into a gumball machine or 50 cents into a random small toy machine. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes we get a
Mhm.
nice thing, sometimes we get a bad thing, but when you're talking about real power and skill, when you're talking about that, and there's ways to talk about this that point to the irrelevance of power and skill, right? But when you're still in that system of power and skill, or like believing in thoughts, right? Then it's very important well, it's not even very important. It's like it's such a blessing to be able to grip up with somebody, to grab somebody else's hand and to put our elbows on the table and to put our grit and our strength and our skill on the table, the arm wrestling table, and to kind of learn through that direct experiencing, that interplay of energy through deep listening and deep sharing. So this is a much more reliable refuge for your practice or for someone's practice, if they're asking me, than trying to force themselves to meditate for an hour or etc. Because the real meditation happens naturally. It's a natural meditation. And what we don't want to do is have meditation that's just informed by what we want or just informed by our capacity to do it. We want meditation that's informed by wisdom, right? So what is wisdom? Well, to say that you're going to die and that you could die at any moment is a kind of wisdom adjacent thing. Whereas your doctor saying that, well, you probably have 20 to 30 years left to live, looking at your statistics, looking at your map, is intellectually adjacent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's very
it's the,
helpful.
the
I
most
think.
essential thing. The most essential thing, if you want to make a lot of progress in a short period of time, which of course we all do, is to be able to detach from your own understanding, seriously. To abandon your
Yeah,
own
that makes
understanding.
sense. Well, I understand that I don't understand, if that makes sense.
Well, but you don't understand that you don't understand that. So that's what I'm here to help with. Okay.
My friend
Yeah.
and meditation master, he said he wants me to be aware of being aware.
Yeah, that's on the money for sure. Being aware of being aware. So sometimes it turns out that our meditation master is more of a spiritual friend once we start to grip up with some of the top 10 in the world. You see what I'm saying? And so we never want it to be an ego thing about higher or better or lesser or worse. But there are practicalities in terms of skill and strength and commitment and degree of involvement over decades and decades. And also a lack of biases to get something, right? So it's very essential that we listen to teachers that are way more generous than we have a capacity to be towards them. Otherwise, we can be taken advantage of, or we can miss out on, because it becomes such an interpersonal relationship and you're identifying that person as your meditation master, it becomes kind of a block, right? Where you're now thinking only in one particular box. So I try to say, look, this is a box of what I'm experienced with, and my box got this big because I listen to and I practice with people who are way, way more experienced than me in relativistic terms, because there's kind of two sides of non-duality, or Zen, or Chan, or the true Buddha Dhamma. One side is the relative and the practical, which is knowing how to clean your body, knowing how to flush your toilet, knowing how to eat, sleep, drink, whatever, to take care of yourself, all right? And how to do that skillfully. And then the absolute side is like nowhere to go and nothing to do. You could die at any moment. So we're kind of not fixating on the absolute or the relative, but we're making use of both sides, right? Interpenetrating. And in that way, we can really go forward consistently and practically more and more in a short period of time.
Okay.
All right, so take some time to digest that, and I wish you good luck in your practice, and you can let me know if anything comes up. And
Yes, I will. And thank you for the songs. I really like the songs. I feel are very strong.
yeah,
And I found the Plum Village website, and so I'm going to practice and learn songs too.
100%, more and more. More and more. Just like an alcoholic loves to drink, we love to sing songs. We love to be concerned with mindfulness and detachment. We love to make mistake and to learn how to detach from the mistake. We love how to learn how to make a success and learn how to detach from the success. So that attachment to meditating for 1 hour, it can create a cultivation of attachment. So if that's how you're practicing for 1 hour, then that's not a practice that you want to do. Because really, I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now, in the ultimate I dwell. That's real meditation. So if you're practicing in such a way where you're losing access to that, then you're not really meditating, are you? At least not in the way you want to. So
That's very helpful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also saw in your message you wanted to make an offering or make a donation. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't want. I don't know how to use PayPal.
Do you have any other apps over there in Australia that you use that I might be able to set up or figure out? Okay, I'll look.
I might be able to figure it out, because I'm not very good with apps. But I will make an effort to figure it out, and we just do BPay.
I've never heard about BPay.
That's too silly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
But,
see what happens.
how do I do? Do I type in your phone number? Or
I'll send you a link. And you can see if it works just by trying to follow with what they say there, okay? All right.
No, I feel like it's. I really want to show my appreciation in a. I think money is just energy, so I want to give some energy, as well as my time and practice and my heart.
That's the full spectrum approach. So I will try to
Yes.
join you in that.
Thank you,
Okay. And it's Lee or Lay or
Lee.
Lee. Okay,
Lee,
Lee.
yeah.
All right.
What do I call you?
You can call me Rob, Mr. Rob,
Rob.
Master Rob, Dr.
Mr.
Rob,
Rob.
Mr. Potato Man. You can make up a name if you want. You can name me. Up to you.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I used to be a clown, a professional idiot for 13 years, and when I see you, the clown is the fool is the wise person, but the idiot. But I see in you how easy you fall into that, which is very wise.
Well, it's one of my deepest aspirations, but I've got a long way to go in that, and I don't know if I'll ever get there. But definitely to be a holy fool is, you know, deep practice aspiration for me.
I think you're there. You're already there because it's all about the inner child and having an open heart. That's something I know a lot about, and just the willingness to be open and to look like a fool and just to be in the moment. So I think you're definitely there, and I appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you, Lee. Leah.
Thank you, Mr. Rob.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Good example of a real practitioner. Dear friends, we are almost at 100 likes. Who's going to get that 100th like on our live stream today? This is a fine time. But not to dwell, not to fixate, not to attach, not to get tangled, but to be more and more aware. To be aware of awareness. To see this as a mirror. We've officially reached 100 likes, everybody. That means a bald head reveal. Good job, everybody. Wig on order. I don't know, there's something humbling about giving. Yeah, there's a teaching in that, Chelsea. So that stuff is like is as real as it not being real, right? But the potency or the power of that practice and that technology is limited when we have a personalistic thinking or personalistic seeking, because that like fixture of personhood is entangled in a notion that has separation in it. And so, as much as we're bound up in separation, we don't experience the interpenetration of phenomena that we actually are, right? The universal consciousness power. So, it is mysterious and mystical how far we can go in getting what we want according, well, it's according to how much we dare to give. And that's been commodified or limitized through transactional hourly pay or salary relationships with people who have money and people who don't. But it's the same principle, just a particular, quite a base practice of it. But you can practice beyond that, you know. In Buddhism, they know well about all kinds of psychic powers and psychic phenomena, even to be able to create visualizations, like if you were having a lucid dream, like to be able to create a visualization of this, literally, in the mind sphere of awareness. And not only for you to be able to see it, but also for the people that were tuned in with you to be able to see it. That's what I've heard. So that it's not what we think that it is, not what it seems to be. It cannot be what it seems to be. It cannot be what it seems to be. You are not who you think you are. I am not who I think I am. This is not what it appears to be. If you can see how fallible appearances are, how fallible appearances can be, You can detach from appearances and realize and recognize awareness. Stop being pulled around by your ego. You had thought that, so what? I had thought that, so what? So what? What do you want to do about it? And who are you even talking to? Who am I even talking to? You want to fight with your thoughts? What is you compared with your thoughts? Is this not a direct unfolding experience? How can you keep up with the directness of this experience? Addicted to thinking. Aha. TAA. Thought Addicts Anonymous. Thought Addicts Anonymous. So this way of giving is very powerful, and it transforms everything. And it can't be put into any kind of box. It can't be put into a box of the way that we think about things or the way that someone else thinks about things. It can't be put into a box of itself. It's like trying to box up boxlessness. And, as we go about things in the wrong way, it's like trying to box nobody. And this selfishness, we just work for ourselves, we just live for ourselves, or we just live and work for the people that we like. It traps us in an identity of people and places and things and situations and experiences. And knowing how to work in that world is fine and good, but to know how to be free of that world as we are in that world is the most important teaching that we can receive as human beings. Children should learn how to think on their own. We shouldn't try to convince children to think, or convince them to speak, or convince them to do anything. We're not there to control them or to make them do something or make them be a certain way. We're there as the facilitators of spacious awareness. Those children are our gurus. Bathe them, feed them, clothe them, house them, support them in all the ways that they need to be supported without any kind of conniving or scheming about if they're going to be a doctor or if they're going to be able to support you in your old age. And yeah, being very patient and gentle and open, but also being very strong with our own willingness to not attach to things. There's no you to begin with. You have to realize that you haven't thought about this. You haven't thought about self. You haven't thought about ego. You haven't thought about separation. You haven't thought about anything at all ever. You've never thought about anything ever. Where did all of those people go? Those millions and millions and millions of people, where did they go and where did they come from? We're given a book or we're given a computer with a list of 100 names or 1,000 names or whatever, Christopher Columbus and Pocahontas, etc. And we're put into a system of belief in thoughts or belief in ideas about things. And you can see how that's worked out. Yeah, a lot of people are living nice, living easy. But that's no excuse for Gaza, Palestine. That's no excuse for the Rwandan genocide. That's no excuse for slavery and the Holocaust of the Native Americans. There's no excuse for our anger and our greed and our delusion. So when you put a stop to all of that, say, wait a minute, no more greed. Wait a minute, no more anger. Wait a minute, no more non-practical, complicated thinking. No more thinking. You are put into the basin of reality, or put into the firmament of suchness. What's so bad about that? What's so good about that? Nothing. Awareness is free of all the things. How can we be so free of everything that we've experienced and all the stories that have been told about us and that we've told ourselves about ourselves and that we've told about others? How is that possible? How is it possible for you to instantaneously be free of every thought that you've ever thunk, and yet you are? How is that possible? How is it possible that you know that you're going to die and yet you're not freaking out? From one moment to another, from being able-bodied and being able to do what you want and go to where you want to go and do what you want to do, to being completely paralyzed. Or from being completely trapped to being completely free, completely addicted to completely liberated. How is it possible? It's not possible for you. So the you thought is the problem. And it's the problemless problem. So it's the problem we should think about. You're going to get back as much as you give. So how much do you want? For me, I know what I want. I want everything. So I have to give everything. Can you give everything? Everything, every thought, every sensation, every idea, every relationship. You can give everything that keeps you trapped in you. So just do it. Then meditation isn't something that we practice, it's a realization. So what we meditate upon is not our breathing or our thinking or what we want to manifest. We meditate on realization. We meditate on realization of non-self. We meditate on the realization of awareness. We meditate upon the realization of no separation. We meditate upon the realization of there being no such thing as anything, just as it is. Life has nothing to do with fairness, but we can be fair as aspects of life. But fairness without generosity, fairness without compassion, fairness without wisdom is nothing. It's just bullshitting ourselves, bullshitting other people, and taking in the bullshit of the world, telling stories, labeling things. Your labeling things is your problem. My labeling things is my problem. And our problem as a society is that we're no longer individuated. We either like Coke or we like Pepsi. We like McDonald's or we like Wendy's. Or we like Foster's. Or we like Pabst Blue Ribbon. It doesn't matter what you like. You can't realize these revelations through special experiences, because the specialness of this nobody experiencing anything is like a supernova. It eviscerates everything. It is beyond life and death. The you process just keeps coming in and keeps bullshitting. So we're learning to snap the supernova fingers, the fingers of the supernova, that every sensation, that every thought, that every sight, every sound, every feeling, every experience, every context is a supernova that dissolves itself with pure light. Becoming an individual is becoming a humble human being that is below cause and effect. That I'm not in control of what happens. I'm not in control of what happens to this body. I'm not in control of what happens to this mind. I'm not in control of what happens in this environment. I am not in control. I is not in control. I is just control. And it is just a knot. The knot of trying to control what you cannot control because there's nobody there to control it. Nor has there ever been. Good signs, but allow signlessness to pervade everywhere. Don't fixate too much on the signs. Remember this. Don't fixate too much on the signs. There is no perfect person, perfectly good or perfectly bad, or perfectly skillful or perfectly unskillful. There's no such thing as that. There's not really anything that's good or bad, so that terrifyingness is an energy inviting to open, to listen, to be unafraid, to go deeper. Not for the short term, not for the long term, not in terms of time. Don't let it get to your head. Keep penetrating into awareness or direct experiencing that's beyond the head, beyond the body, beyond anything, beyond everything. Already. I'm not here to say I have all the answers. I'm here saying that there's no test to pass. The you is just a state of confusion. So learn to not doubt, not you. It's everywhere, it's everything. Learn to see without thinking about things. Practice seeing without thinking about things. The seriousness reveals levity and freedom. Don't fear the intensity. Don't fear the unpleasantness. That's your magic. That's where your magic is. That's what love is, that non-fearing that which is fearable. That's love. Not avoiding that which is avoidable. That's love. And that is already. Everything is already love. But you can also apparently step into loving more. We can't say that we can't. That there's no we to begin with is just a pointer towards awareness, not a thought that denies something. We get into very heady concepts about like awareness and enlightenment and fearlessness. Even the heart beating can't be put into a box. Even the heart beating right now is beyond your ego, if you just dare to listen to it. No, my heart's over here. Can we penetrate into neutrality as well? Love is like listening. Can you put your hand over your heart right now and listen? We can see life as play, and we can be the game master that protects the playfulness of life. The more responsibility we take on, the more freedom we have access to, the more points of remembering we have access to. And that's a tough lesson to learn. And most people do it unwillingly because there's nothing else to do. Can I not hear the sound of my own instrument disappearing into space? Is that not what makes the sound of my own instrument what it is? Can we actually accept what everything is giving to us that makes us go beyond ourselves? That makes us go beyond this body? And this world of thinking? Can we not accept the invitation of generosity to simply be free from ourselves? Kenneth, it's the law of contradiction. So nobody can become a stream enterer. It's just a tool. It's just a community tool. If the Buddha is the one who described those things, then the Buddha was using it as a tool to help others. That's it. The very notion of a stream enterer is that they know they are not a stream enterer. That's why the Buddha's lion's roar of I am enlightened was not a description of his experience, but an expression of that which is beyond the intellect. As much as someone identifies, and this can only be known for themselves, we can't ultimately know who someone else is because they aren't anybody. But as much as you yourself identify yourself as a Sotapanna, as a Sakyagami, as a stream enterer, etc., then you're not one. Nobody can become enlightened. That doesn't mean we can't help each other and communicate about ideas. But once it just becomes this intellectual, philosophical model for wealthy and self-invested people, the Dhamma is lost entirely. The Dhamma is for those who have nothing, those who've experienced great loss, those who are on the edge of their rope, those who are ready for whatever reason to abandon their life. Together with everything, together with anything. There's no limits, there's no boundaries, there's no need. The idea that you need to be alive or that you need to breathe is just an idea, is just a biological response. No matter what, everything is okay. But we're in a meditation retreat. Everybody has to sit up. Everybody has to sit in this position for this period of time. No, they don't. It doesn't matter what it is. Everything is okay. Whether you try or you don't try, whether you give or you don't give, whether you listen or you don't listen, whether you can't move your body or you can move your body, whether everything comes together or everything falls apart. Now, it's okay. That is what it means to be a friend of the Buddha. That is what it means to be an Arya. That is what it means to have access to non-duality or enlightenment. Whatever it is, it's okay. It has to be okay. And that okayness is my platform for taking care to the best of my abilities, with all forgiveness available. No talking to it, no figuring it out, no meeting the expectation, no justification at all. I don't need to have a goal. There's nobody to have a goal. If anything, my goal is to help others, but I don't believe in others, and I don't believe in myself. That I is just awareness, whether I like it or not. It's just awareness. Okay, friends? May irreverence and reverence support one another unconditionally. May all suffering come to an end as it's met with awareness. May we all be free, happy, healthy, and wonderful. May we unlock the arrogance and the pride of the lion's roar of Buddha through mastering all the seasons of our life and our mind. With, through, and of whatever it is, may Nibbana pervade everywhere. Without end and without beginning. May we be free from ourselves. May it be, may it be, may it truly, truly, truly be. Sadhu. Sadhu. Thank you, friends. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be wealthy, may you be peaceful, and I hope we get a chance to practice together again soon.